Imagine listening to your audience. Such a foreign topic
Yeah.
nowadays.
It's
We're now
oh my
hearing
god, it's such a
rumblings or rumors at the
perplexing
very least that there's a
mystery.
PvE
Why do
mode
people
that's in
not love?
development as
Great, boys, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Netties, you could do the funniest thing. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about all things Marvel Rivals.
It's funny that NetEase, the greedy Chinese company that should be like the bad guys, like it's like the O'Driscolls from Red Dead Redemption. They're like the good guys, bro. The Chinese are the good guys and the Americans are the bad guys. How the tables have turned, people.
From the new content to its future to those that would stand in the way of its success, and why this game is going to be a problem many can't ignore. We are now 1 month out from the launch of Marvel Rivals, and the game hasn't showed any signs of slowing down or stopping. Historically, when we see a popular game release, live service or not, we tend to see the game surge in the week of its launch, and then players that aren't interested in the game start moving on, and the player count kind of falls to find its dedicated audience.
Stays in
However,
those shields,
in the
bro.
case of Marvel Rivals, we're seeing the opposite. We're just now a
Miss
month past its
Fantastic,
launch,
I call
and we're
her that.
consistently seeing the game hold over.
I'm a Miss Fantastic, like, or Sue Storm main. Nobody stands behind those shields. I just put them for myself, and I just stand there, you know. And whenever, like, I'm gonna give you all a tip. You put the shield up, and then you turn around and check for like your Hawkeyes and your like teammates or Iron Man. And the shield is really good for floaters. So like not shit, like for shit too, like shit players, but for floaters I mean like Iron Man, Storm, stuff like that. People, those that are annoying to like hit, you know.
Over 400,000 concurrent players on Steam,
Dot is
less
really
than
good. I like
50,000 down from its peak. Just to put that into perspective, when Helldivers 2 lit the internet on fire earlier last year, its release surged up to 458,000 players and then dropped to 334,000 players after its first month, losing 30%.
But even this, like, look, even this graph. There's nothing wrong with this graph. It's just natural, like, natural growth. You just have a lot of growth in the beginning, and then it kind of, like, stagnates. Like, if we took a line, if we drew a line across, this is, like, almost linear, like, even less. Like, it's, like, almost like a plateau of, like, falling off. So it's like not
from its peak.
It's of course like,
Rivals
look, that's like the big graph. This is completely normal. You have a huge like pop off when the game starts, and again, there's nothing wrong with this. Like a game shouldn't be a forever game. Like it's fine. Like look, as a producer of games, you still make money from all the people buying it here. Only whenever you have like Marvel Rivals, a free game, you need people to like stay. You know, to have like a plateau. So your graph, instead of being like this,
Marvel Rivals has
it
lost
should be like
9.
this.
That is absurd, because that means that this game is either replacing players that are leaving the game with new players that want to try it out at a near 1-to-1 ratio, or the players aren't leaving the game.
I think it's a mix of both.
It's probably a blend of the two. Players are actually sticking around to keep playing the game, and the players that are leaving are getting replaced with new players. And there's a lot of reasons for this game's continued popularity. One of the reasons for this, I think, is that the game is being consumed so much on social media. While I know that there's a lot of people that are out there that don't think the social media presence of a game is indicative of its success or its player.
It is indicative, but let's be real. Social media, like exposure, is if we drew a Venn diagram of like social media exposure and fun of the game, it would be like almost a circle. So you have a lot of like correlation like between fun and exposure throughout social media. Because think about this: before social media existed, products used to be sold with basically word of mouth. The best way you could sell a TV was for somebody to have such a good experience with the TV. They were like, yo, Jeff, play, buy this TV, bro, it's so good, I bought it, it's like this much money and it's so good, you know. And Jeff was like, oh damn, I'm gonna keep that in mind. And then 5 months later his TV breaks and it's like, Todd told me about that TV, and they just buy the TV. This is the same for the game, you know. Like maybe social media does have an impact, but we saw what Marvel Avengers was like. It doesn't have a big impact.
From my perspective, the more people that are consuming content around the game, the more people that are playing it. On Twitch, when the game released, it surged up to 227,000 viewers, many of the biggest channels receiving.
Okay, they have drops. It's the real, like, I watched the guy that plays Spider-Man. I don't, it's like Noxus, or I forgot. No, that's the modding, like, stuff. I watched the guy that plays Spider-Man, and I literally not watched 1 second of his, like, 1 minute of his, like, gameplay. I just put it on. Hold on. No, there's nobody here. Because I'm waiting for my brother to, like, come and, like, check the PC. Anyway, I haven't watched at all. So how many of these people just wanted the skin? I think many.
Sponsorships.
At least
some
20%.
Players are just interested in playing the game, and now it's sitting at an average of 100K viewers daily, making it one of the top categories on the platform. YouTube videos covering the best plays, the best players, tier lists, and gameplay are totaling millions of views, and Twitter and Reddit are overflowing with fan art and cosplays of the game's heroes. Both the ranked and
fan art.
Casual modes and rivals are thriving, which honestly is pretty rare to see. The casual mode is drawing in all types of players, whether they're just here for fun or just don't want.
But like, look at this. It's like, oh my god, the game is free. That guy has an $11 skin, I think. I think that's the, like, actual price. So boom, $11. There.
Pressure of ranked matches.
Just here.
Exact same time,
I think this is a casual match, because if it were competitive, like,
engaged with plenty of players that are grinding.
I think they would have
the ladder,
another. Oh, they have another killer. There's a cloak and dagger behind.
Things. The game is offering something for everyone, and that's why it's working so well. Now the game is getting its first major update with Season 1, featuring 4 new characters in the Fantastic Four. Susan Storm and Mr. Fantastic are up first, and then in the second half of the season, we're going to see the other 2 characters. We're also getting new maps with the Sanctum Sanctorum and Mid.
The new maps are so good. Look, it's this map especially. This is my favorite map. This is the one that he's playing right now. This is my favorite map in the entire game. It's so good, and it's good to the point where it's like, okay, it's good because I play healer and this, like, advantages me, you know. But it's like, I don't know if it's good for, like, damagers. But I play damagers too, and I really love, like, I play with Spider-Man, and it's like, I am never, like, in this map, I am never like, where is the heal? Where is this? I cannot find the ledge to, like, swing, you know, like, only, like, the big room where the, like, Iron Man, like, destroyed thing, I can't swing. But in the rest of the map, like, it's really good, you know. So I think, like, I think that this, like, cityscape is really good because, like, let's be real, whenever you're playing Spider-Man, like, Spider-Man isn't good with claustrophobia. He's not good. He's good in Asgard, like the map in Asgard or Wakanda or whatever it is, where it's like open, right? So that's where he's good. The same for here. I think superheroes are, like, fundamentally they're, like, in cities, so in cityscape. So it's like even for like the immersion, it's like good there, but this is like a 2% stuff. So the immersion is there, but not only the immersion is there, but there's also the fact that the map is good and intuitive. So whenever I'm like, I need a heal, I just go into like a random balcony, I walk in and there's a heal, right?
That's really important. Central Park in the second half. Plus there's going to be
this
game
one.
mode.
In here, whenever you're playing Spider-Man, you're like annoyed because you like I find it hard to like quickly like find somewhere to swing. Hold on, I need to check something. I'm sorry.
And objectives, keeping things fresh for the players. And the whole time that they've been developing all of this new content for the game, the developers have been, well, genuinely listening to player feedback, engaging with their community directly, tackling issues in the game, balancing performance issues with characters like Hawkeye and Hela, and bringing up lesser characters like Cloak and Dagger. They've been cooking. Now we have...
Oh, they've been cooking. Here's the thing, right? I think I really like the fact that you have kind of like, so you have high output healers. So if you stood in the middle and you were attacked by multiple people, something like Jeff would heal you more than Mantis. So Mantis you would die. I really like the fact that there's like these like subcategories of like, so there's diver tanks like Hulk, Venom, and there's like more of a backline tank, like sitting with the healer, like Magneto, Doctor Strange, stuff like that. Healers have like a more like a support and healer. So you have something like Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snow, Sue Storm, which put healing. You know, like Jeff. Healing. Mantis gives utility, and what else? And Rocket gives utility. Those are sub-healers, I would call them.
We have a prominent leaker for
It's really
Rivals
good.
at Rivals Info on Twitter who's
And
been
you also
digging
have,
around the game.
for damagers, you have like a kind of flank. So think about Spider-Man is a flank, right? Let's say, what else is a flank? Why isn't it coming to mind? Magic is a flank. Punisher and Hela are damagers, okay? So they are like a high output damagers.
Files and has shown off a lot of skins that hadn't made their way into the game and then later did, and more skins that we're likely going to see in the future. Recently, they shared that they discovered project files for PvE content that's either in development or was cut from the game.
Of course.
While we have no word on what the status of this potential PvE mode is, if Blizzard saw...
He's gonna sound arrogant. Like, why can't you just... If I can play against AI players, even in Overwatch, why can't you make an AI player, buff them, and make them a boss in a hero shooter? What is so difficult about that? Like, always game developers are like, oh my god, this is like this advanced tapestry that we cannot even fathom to unfold. Like, we cannot, like, it's so difficult. Like, it will take like 10 years to fix this problem. And it's like, bro, why does it seem so simple then? It's like people, like, look, I'm fat, so I can say this. It's like people who are fat, who are like losing weight, and it's like you tell them like, you just have to not eat as much, you know, thermodynamics. You have to eat less than you consume, consume less than you burn. And they're like, oh my god, but yeah, but this is like, oh, but then, oh, and then, you know, and it's like, bro, stop. It's a simple problem with a simple solution. Just do it, you know.
Saw potential in it, then likely NetEase has as well. And honestly, it would be the funniest thing ever if they actually implemented meaningful PvE into the game where Overwatch failed to do so. This is something that genuinely
that would be
could
such a
attract
burn.
a completely different audience into the game and also give more players a reason to stick around.
I just wish they would like do like some kind of like tower system, you know, kind of like Mage Tower in World of Warcraft, or like if you ever played like gacha games, they have like this tower where you have like a team and you like build them up, like kind of like that. I kind of wish they had, even if you have like a team with AI or with friends or alone. I wish you have a tower and you like pick, okay, I get like a 20% damage boost for headshots. Bang, you pick that. The other choice was like this side ability of yours does 10% more of what it does, you know, so Mantis heals more, stuff like that. Then also as a Mantis you can heal yourself, you know, kind of like stuff that is useful for you. Or you can heal like your allies and then you get more healing, you know, because you get like a kind of like passive healing. Stuff like that. Oh, you have 25 ammo instead of 20, you know. What is so difficult about just changing the number? Like, what is so difficult about that? Like, this is the thing that I don't understand with Blizzard too. It's like, oh, we have like this like a very overpowered ability, but if we nerf it, then that's gonna like this mediocre ability stacks with this mediocre ability, which stacks with this mediocre ability, and then they put each other together, and there's like game-breaking ability, and it's like, why can't you make one ability? Why does it have to be 3? And also, why the fuck can, when you see that it's overpowered, just nerf it, bro? Or buff other abilities, bro? What is so difficult for turning a fucking damage slider? Like, is it that difficult to make the number, instead of doing 20, you make it deal 15? Is that so fucking difficult? I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. And if it is, just make the engine be able to, like, invest into making the engine be way easier to change. So basically just make it so that you can easily change it, bro. Like, these are like, even like, I'm an artist, I make like digital art. Whenever I see some people's process, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, I remember I tuned into like this guy's live and he completely ignored me. He was like individually making hair strands, or like the fucking on the wool. I told him, bro, take a clipping of the fucking wool, put it in fucking texture, or copy it and duplicate it multiple times. Why the fuck are you working 20 hours for something that nobody fucking notices? Are you retarded?
Now, what's truly fascinating about all of this is that most modern live service games would never and could never deliver on this sort of content or be this ambitious.
They are incompetent. It's not that if you had the original World of Warcraft team from 2005 and you teleported them today with the relative knowledge that they had back then in today's standards, trust me, they would be able to make what I said. They would be able to do it. It's incompetence.
Especially for free. Most live service games, especially shooters, ignore any issues that are in their games. Maybe they will, throw in a single-player map or minor changes to existing ones. They'll occasionally drop a new character or weapon. Apex Legends, as an example, just revealed their update at the exact same time as Rivals announced their first season, and all they're offering is cosmetics. Overwatch 2 did the exact same thing. Well,
imagine offering cosmetics for a dead game. How much are you gonna milk the corpse of the fucking cow? Is it not enough? You bled it dry, bro. In the milk bucket, there's no longer any milk. It's fucking blood. How many times are you gonna milk the dead fucking cow? Just leave it be, bro. Bury it in the fucking ground, bro. Leave it alone, bro. You're desecrating its corpse, bro.
Watching a mass exodus from their game, they chose to release recolors of existing skins to try to entice players back to their game. Reading through some of the comments on these announcement videos,
it's like watching a child that has so much potential in life but is held back by their parents. Exactly. Oh my god, bro. This guy, DPF, I don't know, he's like big brain. He's like 5 head. A 30-second trailer not showing anything but 2 skins for an event. Oh my god, bro. Hold on. How can people put up with this shit, bro? I mean, they don't. They don't.
As you can see an outcry from fans begging them to fix issues within their games, livid that the games that they've invested so much in won't invest in them or even try to fight back.
Look at this.
That the games that they've invested.
Fix missing enemy audio. Upgrade tick rate for servers. Get rid of fix enemy surviving in 1 HP when they should be dead. Like, these are problems. Like, when I revert the BPC, have a legacy map in permanent rotation, nerf the frustration support meta, add new things to spend legend talk. You see, these are like, this isn't like me asking you to completely reinvent the game. Like, what these people are asking. Like, it's not like this guy's like, oh, please make 7 new characters. Like, get rid of EO. I don't know what that is. So like, fix enemy surviving 1 HP when they should be dead. Like, that's just like, if you do not make that possible, you're a dogshit developer.
So much and won't invest in them or even try to fight back against new competition.
So many people are like shit eating, bro. Do you realize these companies, if they could, they would whip you and make you pay $1,000. Stop being fans of these companies, bro. Like, this is what pisses me off. Like, they defend the fucking company like it's their brother or something. Like, oh my god, like, he would never do that. He was, bro, keep that fucking shit when you're fucking like people close to you. Like, keep that energy for the people close to you, not for fucking Blizzard, bro. Blizzard doesn't deserve shit. It doesn't deserve shit. We deserve as a customer a good product. If they don't put out a good product, I will use my closed wallet technique. And I will not fucking give them any kind of money. The fuck do you think this is, bro?
This kind of goes back to a broader topic that I've discussed in the past many times on this channel by now, but many of these modern live service games just don't have the respect for their audience that's necessary to keep players.
Respect doesn't matter. You have to respect your intelligence and to look at the community. What do they want? So we know they want that. Am I capable enough to create it? Yes or no? If no, find people that are. If yes, then do it. What is so
happy or to keep them around? Each update only serves to increase their bottom line by introducing more microtransactions and cosmetics rather than meaningful content or addressing player concerns or just general issues within their games. I mean, look at the state of Call of Duty right now. Well, Black Ops 6 was received pretty well.
Bro, whenever Call of Duty needs a fucking rocket ship to function, needs a fucking huge fucking PC with a fucking monitor that has 240 hertz, and the fucking rocket ship to function is like 220 gigabytes of like memory, that's the time whenever you have to sit down and think to yourself like, who the fuck is gonna play that? Like you're just milking the nostalgia cow. Like if Call of Duty released today and it's just like how it is, nobody would be fucking playing it. Like let's stop fucking stroking the cocks of these fucking companies. They don't deserve shit.
Well, at launch, it has reportedly lost over half of its players, and it's
look. Is that the fucking Call of Duty screenshot, or is like fucking like whenever I see Call of Duty, like why does it look like real life? Like why does a non-story game have to look realistic? Keep the graphics for optimization and good gameplay. Why the fuck is it fucking? Why the fuck does the tree have 1,000 fucking leaves on it? Why can I see the individual bricks and why is there so many polygons in the fucking statues or something like that? Why are the textures so good? Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, but it's a fucking shooter, bro, an online shooter. Look at fucking CSGO. Is it visually looking good? Not really. And is it the most popular game in the world? Yes.
Worse by the day. All of this is driven by the fact that players aren't satisfied. They watch as these studios continue to deliver the exact same thing. Nothing changes. There's no advancement. They won't fix issues within their games. They let cheaters run rampant, yet they have no problem releasing cosmetics and new battle passes. This sends the signal to the players that your experience or your enjoyment don't matter. Only your money does. The biggest threat to the video game
It always was. Let's be real. If we gave people universal basic income, if we went to Blizzard, let's say, and we gave them all, here you go, money, you don't have to work a day in your life, very few of them would stick for the artistic journey. I made a video about this, check it out. Games are no longer art, that's what it's called, and I talk about this a lot. Artists aren't making the game. Like, think about this. World of Warcraft released in 2004, and the game for 2004, it was like revolutionary. You had like a StarCraft and Warcraft and Warcraft 2 and 3 and stuff like that, and you were like looking at, you had like a 2D basically, like a game, you know, a strategy. I don't remember what the actual genre was called, but still. Whenever World of Warcraft came out, just like the amount of maps, like I remember I was like I played WoW, and you are like in Elwyn Forest, and then you will go out of Elwyn Forest, and it's like, oh my fucking god, how big this game is. Like, did they have to make that game that big? No. But they made it realistic. It was an art piece. They created art. They were like the Michelangelo of back in the day. And a lot of people, like, I get like a lot of hate for saying this. They never were, little bro. Shut the fuck up, you fucking troglodyte, you moronic troglodyte, bro. What the fuck do you mean they weren't? Is cinema fucking art? Yes. Do you realize you have visual, audio, and you can also interact in the fucking game? So you have cinema, and you also have interaction in the fucking game. How is it not art, bro? Are you fucking mentally held back, bro? Did the fucking nurse drop you on your fucking head when your mother gave birth to you? Are you fucking retarded? Is there a problem in your own fucking mind? Like, how the fuck can you be so stupid? Just disagreeing with me for the sake of disagreeing. Little bro, oh, they never were. It is not that deep. It's not that deep, bro. And you know what else? I will not make that joke.
Industry is the fact that players have learned how to vote with their wallets, and I just love to see it.
Yeah.
I love to watch
Closed
them
wallet
struggle,
technique.
and the struggle is going to get real pretty soon here. You have to respect where the money comes from, and many of these studios have lost sight of that. And I think it's just because they've got so comfortable sitting in their sweet offices, sitting back, drinking their, bottle of water with waifu.
I remember I saw like a picture, like I was watching like Asmongo's stream like a while back, and he had like a picture, and there was like a Nerf gun in the background in the fucking studio. And then I realized like these people, they're fucking playing with Nerf guns. I would bet my soul, if you went to From Software, like main office, I would bet my soul you wouldn't see them having fun, like, oh, let's play with Nerf guns, let's enjoy ourselves. who carried Game of the Year for so much time? From Software. They're not playing around. Good artists, like think about Michelangelo, think about Da Vinci. They were like, Da Vinci was digging up corpses and dissecting them. Do you understand the amount of dedication you have to have and the amount of obsession you have to be like that level of an artist? Do you realize the amount of sacrifice, the amount of things that you have to give up? Family time, your own time, your sanity, your health, your everything to create something like that. Like there was like this Michelangelo or Da Vinci quote. I think Michelangelo quote, where it's like, if people understood how much I had to work for my greatness, it would not seem so great at all. And something like that. And it was like people will never understand how much you have to be obsessed with something to be successful at it in a free market, especially. You can be an amateur. You can be, even look at UFC. Like if you look at UFC, like John Jones, let's say for example John Jones or George St. Pierre or somebody like that. There's such a big difference between them and an amateur fighter. It's almost the same difference as an amateur fighter and a normal person. That's how big of a difference there is between the professional, the best people in the world, and the amateurs. You have to want it, man. And these developers, they don't want it. That's the thing. They don't want it. They're just playing around. They just don't give a fuck. It's like a mini vacation to them. Like work is like 20% of their interest. Like 20% of their willpower is used towards work. The rest is like fucking around.
Stickers all over it and saying, these idiots, they'll buy anything. They'll still play it. And they're right, because we're impulsive creatures. It's what we do. But what ends up happening when the game across the street treats...
Didn't think the guy, like, there was like an American president, he was like, you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, I don't know, and then you fool me 3 times, shame on me, something like that. It's like, this is like the good like quote for this, because it's like, you can fool a person once with buying a bad game. Let's say Assassin's Creed. They fooled me into buying Syndicate. Okay. Origins. Okay. Odyssey. Not okay anymore. I quit Odyssey. I have never touched another new Assassin's Creed game, and I have preached to other people to no longer play those games. The 3rd time was enough. At a certain point, even the stupidest moronic, the worst fucking, like the 80 like room temperature IQ people will stop playing it if you fool them enough times. People are impulsive creatures, yes, but they're also comfort creatures. They like to have comfort. So if it's not comfortable, if it's not appealing, if it's not nice, they will stop like buying it. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say.
Makes this better. You didn't think about that, did you? You know, anecdotal, I know, but I loved Warzone when it first released. I had so much fun.
Yeah, until it's like 140 fucking gigabytes, and it's like, oh, so what do? We delete 3 games off of our SSD and play Warzone, or do we have other 3 games? They don't give a fuck about optimization. You have to have a rocket ship to play those games. I swear to God.
A lot of people get pretty nostalgic about Verdansk, but I also clearly remember how many issues that game had. How
just the cheaters were enough, bro.
Often they would go unalleviated, and how easily they would introduce microtransactions and skins. And
microtransactions are so popular because it's the so like I have this like thing. Let's say you buy a car, and it's like, what's the most horsepower per dollar that you can buy? Microtransactions are the most dollars per effort. If we used effort as units, it's like 1 unit of effort has the most money in microtransactions. The like ratio between them. So it's like people. Of course, they're gonna make microtransactions because it's like how quickly can you make a fucking 3D model and like recolor a couple of like shit and just slap some textures on it and boom, here you go, fucking skin. Or how quickly can you make like a skin with like big boobs and huge ass and that's it, or a collab with a fucking rapper. That's whenever I realized that like they don't know what the fuck, like their community, like they try to copy Fortnite, but it's like, how can I put this? I think it was stupid to like add like Nicki Minaj, for example, or like The Boys. Who the fuck bought that? Oh, and it's like, oh, I bought it. Sure, bro, but you're a giga gamer, bro. Like, would a normal person give like how much is like? Is it like $20 to buy those like bundles? Would a normal, rational, normal Walmart Americans give $20 for a fucking one of those skins? But it's like, of course they make it, you know. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like I don't know how to like vocalize this, but it's like it's so stupid. The focus is so stupid. Like instead of making the game better, let's just make another rapper collab. That's what I want to say. That's basically what I want to vocalize, and it's like it will never end.
Battle passes. How many times the stim
Hold on, I need
glitch
to
came
wipe
back
my
in the
nose.
game? Skins that would release that would make players invisible. There was like the one time that they had like the helicopter glitch, and then they fixed it, and then it made another glitch happen, and then another one,
like
and
the
then another one. It went on
tapestry.
for like 3 months. Meanwhile, they never did anything about any of the cheaters in the game. Warzone.
What did I say? I remember I knew we were cooked. Whenever I was seeing people fly in the fucking game, I was playing like I played like 10 matches at most of Warzone over Verdansk. Whenever I got sniped from prison and I was like 2 kilometers away, and the guy didn't even like, he couldn't have possibly saw me. Like the fucking zone didn't even render on my PC. And whenever I saw people flying in ATVs in the air, how can you be a multi-billion-dollar company and let that shit in your game? I would hire 100 people, bro, to just fix that in Plus. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, genuinely, like, I would hire 100 people just fix the fucking flying ATVs, bro. The fuck is this? Do you think that people are like, oh my god, I want to play this game for the rest of my life after they get killed by a guy in a fucking ATV, just fucking moving like a fucking fidget spinner and just headshotting them perfectly with a fucking AVP or whatever is like a random sniper rifle? No.
Today still suffers from those same issues. It's the same story because none of those things ever get fixed because they're never...
Because they costs. They don't hire people that will fix them because they want more money. You can make money either by producing more money or by cutting the cost. That's what they're maximizing.
Never a priority because the players are not a priority. We are the afterthought. It is our money that is the first thing that they want. And the only way they can get that is through microtransactions. But what they don't realize is that if these games are not in the state that they need to be, and you're not feeding the players with good enough content, they're not going to stick around, and you're not going to get the microtransactions.
Of course.
You're not playing the game. That's kind of how this...
This guy, I can tell that this guy is really smart. You know how I can tell? Because I completely agree with him, and he shares my opinions. And this guy is really smart, and I like he has Alucard in the background. He's like bass. Look, he has guitars. There's like, I think that's Guts. Is that Guts? Maybe, I don't know. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Look at that. Like this guy is based, man. Like this guy, Chef's Kiss guy. I love him. No homo. This guy, look at his haircut. Such a nice haircut. Look, he has like red lighting. This guy knows what he's doing. Look, he's a really smart individual. Let's just say that.
This works. When I look around the games industry right now, I see a lot of these live service studios that have gotten fat and comfortable and greedy.
Complacent.
They don't. It's like I said before. All they want to do is take, and the only time that they ever want to give back is when they're back.
There is not one person on this earth that isn't everything that they want to do is take. Even sometimes when they give, it's just to take something. So let's say they like act nicely just to feel nice. So it's still a take. You know, like every interaction can be looked as a transaction between people.
Backs are up against the wall, and Marvel Rivals is about to line them all up. Too many live service games are doing the absolute bare minimum while squeezing their players dry with microtransactions and cosmetics, while ignoring real issues within their games. That is the reason why Marvel Rivals is seeing such an outpour of support, is because the players feel like they're heard, they're getting content that's worthwhile to them, and the game has a...
Yeah, and it's like, we don't like Hela. She's too OP. Nerf. We don't like that guy. He's too OP. He's a Hawkeye. Nerf. We want Cloak and Dagger to be better. Buff. It's not like, I hate whenever people are like, how can I put this? Whenever people are like, oh my god, like it's so difficult. Who the fuck cares, bro? Who the fuck cares how difficult it is for you, bro? Like I as I said, I'm an artist. Whenever I make a 9-hour drawing, don't nobody give a fuck about it, the fact that it took 9 hours. They just care about if it looks nice, you know? And I found out the hard way that you have to make good products, and it doesn't matter how you reach that. If you have to take pictures, put them there, just photo bash, stuff like that, people are gonna appreciate it just as much as if you stood there for 20 fucking hours and you painted each individual fucking leaf. Like, don't nobody give a fuck about your fucking effort, bro. Don't nobody give a fuck. They just want a fucking outcome.
It's a bright future. It's as simple as that. It's a company that respects where the money comes from and knows what the players want and are delivering on it. Sadly, there are those that would like to stand in the way of that. In an article written by Jade King titled, "Marvel Rivals has too many heroes for its own..."
What the fuck are these articles? Psylocke and Sue Storm apparently have the same butt. Sora and Riku from Kingdom Hearts have been added to Marvel Rivals by fans. Who the fuck reads this shit? Jade King. The fuck is that, bro? Are we actually gonna take this fucking seriously? Threads 39. What the fuck? Show me some numbers. How many interactions do they have? How can I look at that? Because I bet if you saw this person in real life, you would scoff whenever they would tell you something. Shut the fuck up. The same goes for me, but I'm right, so it doesn't matter.
Good. They go on to detail a litany of issues that they have with the game and why they believe it should take
not
notes
enough
from
diversity.
Overwatch. Jade writes,
Probably.
Marvel Rivals arrived with one hell of an impact, but as the dust clears, some obvious flaws are now plain to see. The lack of role queue is one major omission and is already making effective team play and...
Tell me you're stupid without telling me you're stupid. I remember I would always like blame my teammates whenever I was like, even when I'm tilted. But then nowadays, if you go back to in my life, look at how I coordinated my teammates, how I talked to them, and then when they listened to me, we won. Do you realize that the fact that the freedom of you being able to play, let's say you play full DPS, if you're good enough, you're gonna win. If you have good strategy, if they're like, I like strategy, like let's say we have like a Doctor Strange and a Punisher, and the Doctor Strange puts a shield for the Punisher, and the Punisher puts a turret on the fucking payload. If you have that kind of like damage output, let's say you can sacrifice. Let's say we don't need another tank. Let's get another healer, and let's keep the Punisher alive on the turret or buff his damage. You know, like let's say with Mantis, I would always buff his damage. I like the fact that you have that freedom. I don't like whenever like games restrict you. It's not nice to be restricted. It's nice to have a sandbox. This is why games like Fortnite or Minecraft, Terraria, stuff like that are so popular. Fortnite is not really a sandbox, but you get what I mean.
Possibility when playing with strangers. Unless you want to switch to Vanguard or Strategist of your own accord to salvage an ailing map.
Bro, I have played with players that were so good, like Magic, for example. I played with a Magic that got like 44 kills, and we had like a damager in minus, but that fucking player carried us so much that it literally didn't matter. And I did the same. I carried people so much with Mantis that it literally didn't matter that they were bad, some of them. Roll queue is stupid. Don't force it. Please don't force it.
This is a
me.
problem with Overwatch 2, but roll queue has made it much easier for you to form teams you know have a decent chance of winning if you work together. No Limits asks you to throw this aside for some chaotic fun where emerging victorious doesn't matter, but in Marvel Rivals, that is the only way to play. So it's impossible not to criticize. Right now, I spend games playing support out of obligation, preventing me from...
No. If you are the best Magic player in the world, you would not have to do that. Because you would just carry so much that it wouldn't matter. It's literally a skill issue.
Trying out other heroes. The lack of role queue isn't a flaw, it's the game's strength. Rivals gives players the freedom to play and
as I said, very smart individual.
Adapt, rather than forcing them into a pigeonhole because they were too late to join a match.
Restricting them. Very smart individual. I like this.
Or they were too late to pick a hero. Meanwhile, Overwatch 2 has made people miserable with its role queue, and players have been complaining about it for years. This reeks of somebody that's trying to drag Marvel Rivals down to Overwatch's level of...
They're just talking to make noises with their mouth. This is my brother's saying. They're just moving their mouth just to make noises. That's what they're doing.
Mediocrity. If they can't see that freedom is exactly what makes this game great, then they're complaining just for the sake of it.
But this is the thing. What freedom? Freedom of strategy, freedom of play, freedom of choice. Again, he's just basically saying what I said, just in a different manner. Again, smart individual.
From my perspective, not every game has to be specifically tuned so that you can roleplay as an esports player in your 30s. I've seen many people posing the question as to why Marvel Rivals is succeeding right now, and Tim Sweeney put it perfectly, fun.
Esports, if the game is good, esports are going to be there. If the game is popular, esports will naturally develop themselves. Think about Elden Ring. There were tournaments and stuff like that for Elden Ring, and tournaments stuff like that, or hardcore classic WoW. Even if the game is not catered to tournament play. Why? Because it's good.
That's the reason why people are playing this game, and trying to bog it down with competitive tools isn't going to make it any better. I don't know about everybody else, but I am sick and tired of every single third-person and first-person shooter becoming a toxic sweat fest. I'm average at these kind of games. I know I'm not that good at them, but I just like to have fun playing them. The vast majority of people are average or below, and catering to the competitive end of these games is exactly how you push out the average player.
Again, this is even with the DEI. And even with the tournament players, they are catering to 0.01%, like a percentile of a community. Who the fuck cares about you? Fuck you.
The writer then goes on to discuss how Marvel Rivals is a hero shooter built on one of the most iconic licenses in gaming, but argues that the game being free-to-play creates an unrealistic expectation for players to simply enjoy being the heroes without needing to learn complex mechanics.
Play quick match. Play casual. What's stopping you? Why do you have to climb in competitive and for it to matter if you lose or not? I like to play quick match, even if it doesn't give me anything. Why does it have to be goal oriented? Why do gamers all the time, they just want goals? Oh my god, I want to feel good for this. Why the fuck are you using the game to override the fact that you are a loser in real life? Just stop. Pick up an instrument, learn an instrument, be there, get skilled there, not in the fucking video game. The game is for enjoyment. And you learn that as you get in real life, as you get skills, those skills feed into other skills. So when you learn discipline of consistency, you will also learn the fact that you have control over yourself, which will lead into a different kind of outcome. So it's for example, I'm an artist, and I fed that into writing. And because of my discipline in art, I learned how to write as well. I'm all right, but I think I'm gonna be honest. This is self-serving. I think I'm good. The same for art. I think I'm good at that too. At video games, I play Mortal Kombat. I got God rank. Again, top. What was I? Top 2,000 people, I think. Of course I didn't stay there long because it's annoying to you have to in Mortal Kombat the MMR is weirdly decided by win or loss or stuff like that. It doesn't matter. anyway, as you gain skill in some stuff, you learn how to gain skill in general. You gain skill at gaining skill. You know, so it's like do it in real life, don't do it in video games.
And understand their roles. They complain that the game's focus on
Stop trying
mechanical
to add value
skills
to games.
disrupts the power fantasy that would be enjoyed by single-player games like Spider-Man or Batman, where the challenge is just personal gratification. The conclusion that the writer comes to is that even during its beta period, the roster was stacked with a staggering number of playable heroes and villains to choose from. In the lead-up to its launch, more additions were confirmed for the roster, making it hard to determine who I would main.
I should do this, bro. I should find like this stupid, like fucking, or I should make them myself, you know, like stupid, like the stupidest fucking thing I could think of, make it, or comment it, or something like that, and make a whole video about it, you know, and just farm content off of it, you know. One day I'm gonna do that, and you're never gonna know. It's gonna be like in 2 years, and you're not even gonna know about it.
And if I would even have enough time to learn the ins and outs before their release.
Shoot!
Turns out that I didn't. And now the sheer act of playing Marvel Rivals is daunting. Once again, I find myself comparing it unfavorably to Overwatch. Overwatch launched with 21 heroes, while Rivals stepped out of the gate with 33, just 11 shy of how many Overwatch 2 has now. And it isn't an original universe, as it has decades of media to draw from when it comes to its roster, but that also means that there is less potential for future additions, and some of its biggest names can't be capitalized on because they've been here the entire time. For the first few years of its existence, Overwatch turned each new hero into a legitimate event. You would follow each update and tease with fervent anticipation.
What hero? I literally cannot name the last fucking, like, Junker Queen. That's the last I remember. And the Mars girl. Like, because I saw her from Rule 34 from porn, basically. What fucking new characters? I don't even fucking know the new characters, and I played Overwatch. Like, who the fuck?
And waiting to find out exactly what role they might fill and what they would look like.
Literally nobody cares about Overwatch anymore, bro.
Every new hero was unexpected, but for Rivals, it feels like we're already having to temper our expectations after NetEase jumped the gun on its A-listers. I could be proven wrong, but right now, I'm not very excited about new...
It could be this... Okay, I love whenever people... I do this too. So this is like... I tell somebody like, bro, this is what you say to the girl that you're talking to. I could be wrong. This is what you do when you kind of know that you're not completely right, and you don't want responsibility if your words come back to bite you in your ass. I love because I see the man behind the machines, you know. I see behind the smoking mirrors, and it's like I can see these people, you know, and it's
heroes coming to Marvel Rivals because we're already dealing with an excessive roster. There's no moderation and a desire to give players a temporary power fantasy instead of easing them into things. This will only hurt the game in the long run, and feeling that way right now isn't a good sign. The roster is daunting is a bit of a reach. Having a large roster might seem overwhelming, but the game's mechanics at a character level really aren't all that complicated. The kits are designed to be easy to understand, so even if you're a new player, you can quickly grasp what each hero does. It's not about learning complex mechanics, it's about learning to get the feel for each character's abilities.
Learn complex mechanics in real life. I just assembled a PC. I got way more dopamine from assembling a real life PC than for learning mechanics in a game. Talk to people. Learn, learn chess. Learn an instrument. Art. Write stories. Do something like... What the fuck? Why do you have to get skill in a game? And don't get me wrong, if you find fun in that, like, I'm not judging you, but the games, fundamentally games firstly are for fun. Don't ruin it for other people. This is the thing, right? If your enjoyment, like, let's say, this is like, think about this, even law is about this. If your enjoyment fucks with other people, you cannot have your enjoyment. Just think about it, how many people would enjoy burning your car down? You know? So, but this is the thing, right? They should prioritize enjoyment. Enjoyment. Is it fun? And also, whenever they cater to like specific demographics of people, do not fuck with other people's enjoyment. The majority. The majority is king. It's not Jeff that has 2,000 hours in Overwatch that you're catering to. You're catering to him by default by kind of having like this hero shooter. He will like it anyway if it's popular. He will play it anyway if it's popular. You're catering to, I don't know, to Todd, who is like having fun. He's like he really likes Frank Castle. He watched the season 1 of Punisher or Moon Knight, and he wants to play like as Punisher. And you know he like has like 5 friends that are playing football. And he's like, oh my god, bro, like I want to get like physique like Punisher. I want to have like this big of an arm, you know. And then like his 5 friends play and they like play together. That's the audience that you want to cater to, like the casual players, like Susan who saw Emiro cosplay Luna Snow and she wants to play like Luna Snow because she thinks she's cute. And then she mods and then she finds a way to mod the fucking crazy song for like the Luna Snow. And then she like has like fun and she like giggles and she's like an e-girl basically. And that's the people that you're catering to, the normies, the normal people, like the average person, not the people that are like pulling like high tech shit and like looking at fucking new tech for like Doctor Strange portals and stuff like that. Like you're looking for the people that are watching TikTok fucking edits of the Punisher and Venom, bro.
And how to figure out how to use those abilities strategically. This accessibility is what's allowing 20+ million players to play the game right now, jump in and enjoy it right off the bat, despite having a large roster. I'm sitting here wondering whether or not this writer lives under a rock. This game's accessibility isn't hindered by its vast roster, it's enhanced.
I could be wrong. This is my response to, I'm wondering if the writer lives under a rock. They just shield themselves with plausible deniability. They're like, oh, at that time I was probably right, or I said, to be fair, I said that like they never go fully in. Whenever I say something, I'm fully into it, or if I'm not sure, I will blatantly say it. But it's like, how can I put this? I have strong opinions about stuff that I'm sure of. So yeah, it's like they like use it as a tarp. Let's say like a tarp that is like to not rain on you. No, they're using it as a protection, as a second layer to not get fucked up, basically.
By it. Marvel has thousands of heroes spanning different universes, eras, and realities. Of course, this game is going to feature some of the most iconic heroes to draw players in right out of the gate. That's exactly what people want. But we all know these characters. Everyone recognizes Spider-Man's web-slinging, Storm's weather powers, Wolverine's claws, or Iron Man's lasers. The familiarity with these characters is what makes this game so approachable for both fans.
I told you he's a smart individual.
They're casual players or hard.
Also, like Moon Knight plays as you'd expect him to play. Punisher plays as you'd expect him to play. Hulk plays as you'd expect him to play. Of course, with a few exceptions. Punisher has the turret, Moon Knight has the Ankh, Hulk has the shield. With just one ability as an exception, which is really easy for multitasking, since it's like very intuitive and you have one thing that is kind of not intuitive in a way.
Hardcore players. This isn't League of Legends where you have to sit back and figure out all these different intricate mechanics and how each one of these characters work from scratch. With Marvel Rivals, we already have a solid foundation as to what these heroes can do, thanks to decades of media exposure. The diversity.
Marvel Rivals, this is my honest opinion. I trust the developers. They have done really good with the balancing. They have done really good with everything. If Marvel Rivals had 100 heroes, I trust the developers because of their actions beforehand. I trust them to be able to make actions in the future. You know, it's like this is the thing. Like even with like girlfriends and stuff like that. Like I trust her until she proves me wrong. I give her my trust until she proves me wrong. And then I'm skeptical, you know? But if they didn't break my trust, if they didn't break it, then I will trust you. These developers haven't lost my trust yet. So they still have it. I trust that they will do the right thing. If not, I will play another game. It's fine.
And depth of the roster is actually a huge part of the reason why players are flocking to this game in the first place, and pushing back against that would make this game not what it is. People have their favorite heroes, and the promise of even more of them is what keeps them excited. The idea that Marvel Rivals is going to somehow run out of recognizable or meaningful characters is just, it's fucking stupid. As an X-Men fan, I am offended by this. I'm losing my mind thinking about the potential for more X-Men characters to hit the roster. I mean, they could pump mutants into this game for years and still have...
I can't wait for Gambit, bro. That's my number one, like... And Nightcrawler. Oh my god, bro. Nightcrawler, bro. Oh my god, I can't wait for that. Oh my god. And Cyclops would be cool, but Nightcrawler, oh my god. And the Gambit. I wanna have like cards. Oh my god.
Have more to come up with. Bishop, Deadpool, Rogue, Gambit, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Jean Grey. Hell, we can finally have a character in a wheelchair that actually makes sense.
You brought me here, Magneto. The next move is yours.
I think that the one thing that many...
Imagine they have like a team-up ability where Magneto just lifts his wheelchair in the air and Charles Xavier can like move freely in the air like Iron Man.
Writers and critics are getting wrong about this game, or at least the thing that I think that they're losing sight of is that the vast majority of players that are coming to play this game are either fans of Marvel or they're just here for the fun and spectacle. That's why this game is so successful. And that's exactly what kind of game these developers set out to make. That's why they're delivering on players' needs. That's why players love this game so much. It's been a long time since I've seen a studio. So
you see this guy, you can see on him. Smart individual. What did I say? It's because it's fun. I like whenever I see a smart individual, they always agree with me. This is such a mystery. I do not understand how this correlation and this stuff like happens. You know, like it's such a coincidence, man.
Dialed into what players want, and especially what they want out of the Marvel IP. I think people need to keep in mind that the Marvel IP has been used and abused so many times, and the reason why people are so excited about this game is because we finally have something that's using the Marvel IP that's actually
destroy the pillar. Just continue.
I mean, the first skins that
you have infinite ammo. Just
for the
continue.
two newest characters is Susan Storm as Malice and Reed Richards as the Maker. While the Fantastic Four have always been known characters, their evil alter egos are some of the most dark and obscure depictions in Marvel. I mean, the Maker lobotomized Tony Stark for an Infinity Stone. These developers are so dialed into this game in a way that so very few studios are today, especially when it's not even their own IP. And it's only going to...
The Maker seems so stupid for me. Like, I swear to God, that skin is so retarded. I don't know, it's just goofy in my
this
opinion.
game's audience from here. Rivals is giving players exactly what they want. Thick thighs, the freedom to enjoy the chaos, the power fantasy, and the excitement of Marvel's vast universe of characters. This isn't about appeasing competitive gatekeepers. It's about creating a game that everyone can feel like they can have a blast.
What did I say earlier? Everybody can enjoy it. The average person.
Playing. So maybe instead of whining about too many heroes, the writer should realize that this is the kind of game that's keeping Overwatch awake at night. Because Marvel Rivals is everything that Overwatch isn't.
Overwatch cannot be awake because it's fucking
somehow going to run out of gas just blows my mind. How do you have such little brand awareness and you call yourself an industry expert? I could make an entire 7-hour live stream discussing all the different heroes that they could potentially have in Marvel Rivals.
I could make a 7... In fact, I kind of did, but it was like split in like 3 hours and then 4 or like 2 of just playing Marvel Rivals, and I had like a constant stream of like 3 to 4 people just like constantly like coming like, oh, 3 to 4 people, and it's like I usually get 0 viewers, so it's like it's a big deal.
Rivals in the future. I actually should probably do that sometime. You should actually follow me on Twitch if you guys haven't. Catch me live.
Subscribe to me too.
That'd actually be really fun.
Subscribe to me too, please.
There are so many characters in alternate universes and all kinds of different things that are out there with different moves and skill sets that they could be able to use in Marvel Rivals. I mean, you have Earth 1602. You could bring in all the 1602 characters, like the characters that are like from the 1600s, really cool additions, and their powers work a little bit differently and things like that. You could do Marvel Zombies and bring in some of these zombified characters because they also act quite a bit different and would play entirely different. That would be really cool. Age of Apocalypse, because that brings back some like ancient mutants and stuff. There's so many different ways that you could go around this and find so many different characters that are out there. I mean, if I was to show my power level, we could start talking about Omega level mutants. And in that case, they only have 2 out of the 16 known Omega level mutants in Marvel Rivals at this moment. If they add Legion,
Who the fuck is that? Is this like Xavier's child? The guy that has like 1,000 powers? I don't remember. Hold on, is this it? Yeah.
I might never play another video game. Incredible TV show, by the way. If you guys never watched Legion on FX, I would totally go watch it. It's such a joy to watch. They did such a good job with that TV show. But that's the thing. That's what makes this game so exciting and fun. It's because we don't
There's a
know
possibility.
what characters are going to come, but we do.
There's hope. Unlike Overwatch, there's no hope there. They drained the hope from the community. They disappointed them too much. But in here, there's hope.
Know what those characters are likely going to play like because we have such a history with this brand, with this franchise, and especially the people that are, whether you're a huge fan of Marvel or whether you're somebody that has just, passively taken it in, you watch a couple movies, maybe you just really like the MCU and stuff like that, you're still going to be able to recognize the vast majority of these characters and know exactly what they're going to do. It's not like you're going to be like Iceman, I wonder if he shoots fire. Quicksilver, I wonder what his power is. Most of the characters are self-explanatory, which makes the barrier to entry for this game damn near non-existent. It makes it so easy to get into.
He gave like the example of League of Legends. What does Heimerdinger do? I don't know. He's like a scientist. What the fuck does he do? Does he build turrets? I don't know.
Everybody has their favorite characters, so you
what
can
does
just sit
Jace
back
do?
and wait and hope to see if your favorite one comes in, or maybe if your favorite character's already in the game, you're just waiting to see, maybe I'll start learning about some of these other ones, and then you start...
My favorite character is Spider-Man, and I try to learn him so much. Like, if you saw me like playing, like I have a few clips that are really good with Spider-Man, but 10-year-old me would go crazy over this game, bro. Like, I swear to God, 18 hours a day I would play, bro. I wouldn't sleep for this game, bro. I'd be like in top 1% in like, oh my God, like I would be the best Spider-Man player in the world, bro. Like, you don't, like, I used to play World of Warcraft like a job, bro. I swear to God, man.
Maybe reading some of the older comics and stuff like that. That's what makes this so cool. I mean, for me specifically, I
would really love, like, this is DC, so it's never gonna come. But I would wish like they would like get like some DC characters. I want to see John Constantine so much, bro. I would love to see John Constantine, but he's DC, so we're not getting
actually a legitimate hardcore Marvel fan. But I have not engaged with any of the media for years now because it sucked. I'm just going to be real. And there's going to be a ton of people that are going to agree with me because that's just the way it's been. But like old X-Men, like X-Men 97 and stuff like that, the old comics, even the original first set of MCU movies up to Endgame, kind of.
I liked even like the movies, like now that I am more knowledgeable and I'm more grown. Like, I remember I went so hard for Avengers Age of Ultron, and now I watched it and it's like, Ultron is like, I made a 30-minute video about it complaining when I knew that Ultron would come to like Marvel Rivals, but I didn't post it because it was like, who the fuck cares? Shut the fuck up, nerd. But it's still like, why is Ultron impulsive? Who the fuck wrote him that way? He's a fucking mega super genius AI, bro, that is like superior to everybody, that is made out of like genuine, like the universe's power. He's like harnessing like the universe's intelligence. What the fuck, bro? It's like a super AI created by the universe. Good movie.
There's just certain things that I wish they would have done. It just sucks because the IPs were split, so you couldn't have the X-Men in with the Infinity War, which doesn't make a lot of sense because the X-Men played a huge role in the Infinity War in the comics, and you guys probably don't really care about any of that stuff, but there are people that do, and because of that, they haven't been engaging with the brand whatsoever, and this game is one of the first uses of the IP in a long time that effectively...
Yeah, just the Omega level mutants are Avengers level threat, all of them. Like, all of them are like called the Avengers type of threat. So it's like, yeah, I can see where he's coming from, because imagine just having Storm, Cyclops, Jean Grey, the Professor X and stuff like that fighting against fucking Thanos. Like, imagine like all of those Omega level, like Frost, like what, Frostman or Iceman or whatever is his name, like the Omega level mutant with like the ice powers, like that guy as well. You have Gambit, Deadpool, Wolverine. Like, imagine you had all of those guys fighting like in Infinity War or in Infinity and Endgame. It would be like they would win like really quick. Of course, like they would like have to make it, like they would have to make Thanos more powerful. But still, like, it would be really entertaining as a spectacle show, you know, like as just watching, you know, like I can be.
Use it in a way that makes you want to engage with it and gets you excited about its future. And that's why people are loving this game. So trying to criticize the game for having too many characters, you're out of your mind. That's like saying that people wouldn't have liked Marvel versus Capcom. Did that have too many characters for you? If there is one thing that I've learned, and this is probably the one thing that makes me really hopeful about this game's future, really optimistic about this game's future, is that a lot of these Eastern studios, the minute that they strike gold, they throw all of their weight behind it. They don't try to, scam the players and try to drag them along. They don't. They just throw everything they can at them the minute that they get their hands on it, and it's why players keep playing their games. Look at Black Myth Wukong. The game comes out, it gets incredible.
It's respect. I think it's respect. They know that if they respect their audiences, the money will come with the respect. People forget how important respect is. Respect is really important. Why is it really important? Because respect implies a bit of trust, even if it's not, like, let's say if full trust is 100 units of trust, respect at least implies like at least 30 to 40 units of trust, So, and mutual respect implies even more trust. Marvel Rivals has respected us and we respect it. As I said, I trust the developers. This is big. This is really big. Think about Blizzard post Wrath of the Lich King, how much respect they had from their audiences. And of course there will be like a couple of like trolls or like people that are just talking shit, but in general, like the big audience, like think about how, like, even my father talks like how he like played World of Warcraft and how cool it was, and my brother, or like how cool it was, like staying in Terracar Forest and farming, and like even the farming they liked, so it's like respect creates memorability in games, which creates more, and fun, which creates more money for the people, which creates, it's like a paradox. It's like a human centipede of stuff that feeds off of each other, which creates something even greater, kind of like an ecosystem.
Incredibly successful. They start patching it, fixing some issues in the game, but then they start adding in a boss rush mode. Did you pay for that? No. They added another character for you to be able to play as in a certain area or something like that. I haven't gotten around.
Yeah, but the more you're in the game, the more you're gonna buy skins. And if you're in the game and you're adding to the population, the people won't feel as bad about buying skins because it's like the game is thriving, So are you gonna buy skins for like a game that is like dead? No, not really. I mean, most of y'all wouldn't buy skins at all, but just a few people are enough. Just a few whales are enough to make up for all of you that don't buy skins. So don't hold your, like, they vote, like, think about it. You vote with $0, which is like 0 votes, and they vote with 1,000. They have 1,000 votes. It's not like the elections.
Do that. I think it's like the Tiger Guy or something.
Asmongold said this.
They,
of course,
they
another
didn't have to do that. They just do it because they appreciate the fans, and they want to show those fans that they appreciate them supporting them, and that's how these games continue to be successful. I think Stellar Blade's another really good example of that as well, right? They did a lot of collabs and skins and stuff like that they threw into the game.
They knew their audiences. They knew.
I know that's something that those players definitely appreciate, and just like how I appreciate.
Such a smart individual. He's smart. I like him.
Sue Storm is Malice. Good Lord. I'm not really somebody that likes to buy microtransactions, but when it comes to this game, they are doing a damn good job at putting me.
I was like, I like Psylocke, but I'm not gonna buy the skin, but I bought it right now. To be fair, I also like kind of like justify it in my mind. At least 20% of like the transaction, I justify in my mind like, oh, like people are gonna like watch it more because like I have like a big booty on the screen, So it's like, but that's just me justifying it because I want to get it, like I just wanted to get it, and I was like, well, I don't give a fuck. It's not gonna affect me at all. I'm just not gonna drink as many energy drinks for like some time, and that's gonna be the skin.
Putting me in harm's way, or at least my wallets for that course. Speaking of harm's way, few of you guys know this, but I actually do live in the Los Angeles area, so I might end up being evacuated
that's so bad,
or on fire. Let's hope neither.
Can I be honest? If I lived in Los Angeles and I just look and it was like K lead from like Elden Ring, I would be like, okay, we're moving out. We're moving the fuck out. I don't give a fuck if they try to fix every fucking issue. I would never trust like the weather there ever again, bro. I swear to fucking God, I would rather be in blizzards than like. Think about it. You can deal with snow. How the fuck do you deal with fire, bro? Fire literally, like, if you throw yourself in fucking snow, nothing will happen. Probably you'll get like wet and cold and snow everywhere, kind of like sand. But if you throw yourself in the fire, what the fuck does that do? You die, bro. Like, you know.
This might, depending on how things go, who knows? This is really one of the only ways for me to say.
If your roof collapses because of the weight of the snow, you can still recover some of your stuff. You can't do shit if your house burns down. Like, what the fuck can you recover? Like, the char on the walls? The fuck?
Daddy, buddy. If something happens for whatever reason,
what can you do, bro?
You know,
the nails.
You know, I'll be uploading in a while. Let's just hope that it doesn't. I really just don't want to have to deal with that. I'm lazy, man. I don't want to leave. Like, if it's a fire, like,
I feel
2
you.
houses down, I'll think about leaving.
It's gonna be too late. Fires move too fast. Anyway, I love this guy. Please. Legendary drops. This guy. Big W for him.